really is something else. Oh, I'm going to hit you all the time with my peak. It's remarkably comfy back here. It's very weird seeing just the back of your head. Oh wait, there's so many jokes there. I'm on a motorbike! Woohoo! I'm on my motorbike. I'm totally your bitch right now. Yeah, we're together, but we're not together. That's what they all say. Anyway, so we're on the motorway. I'm on the back of the GS, so I'm on the road, baby. We're going to pick this up later on because it's all motorway miles, but we're taking the bike to be serviced. So let's go do this. Alright, so here we are at Roy Pidcock in Nottingham, I have to think there, and Toby is going to take out the BMW S1000XR for a test ride, so it should be good. We've got the weather for it, so let's join him on the bike and see how he gets on.
Good afternoon, Maps people. So we're going to try something a little bit different because as we mentioned, we lost the audio feed for this video. We had a complete mic failure. So I'm going to try doing a bit of commentary on this and talk you through the test ride of the BMW S1000XR. So here you can see the nice man from the garage from Roy Pidcock BMW just talking me through what a motorcycle is. Luckily, because this is very, very similar switchgear, or in fact almost identical switchgear and layout to the GS, which I'd just been riding, it was very sort of intuitive in terms of what everything did, so I didn't really need much guidance. So off we go. So I just took a little poodle through the town to begin with. Wanted to get a feel for the bike because with 180 or 160 whatever brake horsepower at the back wheel, I thought I'd better take it easy to begin with and just get a feel for the controls and everything. The first thing that I noticed about the bike is just how incredibly smooth it is and how easy it is to ride at low speeds. You know, for something that's got as much power as this has, it was really, really gentle when I was just pootling down the road here. This was the low version of the bike, so it's got a bit of a scooped out seat. Not ideal for me with my long legs, but didn't feel uncomfortable at all. Still a really nice riding position, not dissimilar to my Tiger actually. So legs tucked up in a more sporty position, but top of my body was very upright, nice wide bars. So a very familiar riding position for me and very comfortable. I don't know this part of the world really, so I was just winging it a bit and went around the town for a few minutes. But we'll get out onto some slightly better roads. It wasn't the best day. It was a very, very busy weekend. It was a nice sunny weekend, so every man and his dog was out on the roads. So I didn't find any particularly great stretches, but I do get to open it up in a little bit. I think the biggest disappointment about missing the audio feed on this video was the sound of the bike, because the exhaust, the combination of that BMW engine and the exhaust setup, it sounds absolutely beautiful. Really, really nice exhaust note, and we've missed that unfortunately, so you're just going to have to use your imagination on this occasion. So done a little pootle around town. Now we're going to try and get out onto some more open roads once I've got through the traffic jam. But again, you know, weaving through the traffic, nice slim bike, really, really easy to filter through, no problems there at all. And again, low speed control, super smooth gearbox, really nice, gentle on the throttle, nothing too aggressive, just dead easy to ride. Traffic, a little bit more traffic. I didn't cross the solid white line there. You'll notice that I stayed on the right side of it, so that was a completely legal manoeuvre. A bit more traffic, a little bit more traffic. It's not just traffic, I promise. We do get out of this in a minute. You would have seen the stats for this bike at the beginning of the video, and from that you'll know that this is a bit of an animal. It really is a hooligan machine if you want it to be, but incredibly gentle if you just go in for a nice little Sunday ride. So not bad really for an all-rounder. So here we go, road's opening up a little bit more now. Still going through a bit of a village, so not really getting to test what the bike can do, but I suppose one thing that it's worth noting, my only slight criticism of the bike, and I don't know if this is because it had the scooped out seat, so maybe less padding, or maybe it's because it is a bit of an animal. The suspension setup is quite stiff, but the ride on it was a little bit rough. Especially on some of these sort of slightly more gnarly roads, it did feel quite harsh on occasions. So I could imagine that sort of a longer ride on this, on not great road conditions, could start to shake you about a bit. I didn't get an opportunity to play with the suspension settings, so again it could have been that I was on the sort of the hard settings and could have softened that up a bit. I didn't get long enough ride to really get to test that, but yeah, it did feel a little bit harsh, and I suppose, you know, especially compared to the bike that I'm used to. You'll see, I'll open it up now, and again, what you're missing here from not having the audio feed is the squeals of delight as I open up the throttle, because the power delivery on this bike is absolutely immense. Like I said, pootling around town, gentle as anything, but you roll back that throttle and you really know about it. It does try and pull your head off. You'll see here that I get to open it up a little bit in national speed limit, and really flies. The first time I opened the throttle on this bike, it took me by surprise. You know, the bike that I normally ride is not a particularly slow bike, but this is a different world altogether. It really does want to try and rip your head off as it goes. Absolutely incredible power delivery. Very nimble, very agile, as you'd expect from a bike of this nature. Really confident sort of in the turns. It felt like you could chuck it about, no bother. And again, because of the riding position, because of the sort of tucked up legs but the upright body, it just felt very comfortable and stable. You'll see it's only got a very small sort of little screen on the bike, but it really does a cracking job. It's been very well engineered from an aerodynamic point of view. I didn't really get any buffeting, you know, even when I opened it up a little bit. did feel like the air was, most of the wind was going straight over me, so it's very nicely designed, very aerodynamic. It really felt like you could ride this for a good long ride and not sort of get the fatigue that you can get with some sportier bikes from the buffeting and the wind. Really very comfortable. Traffic. I was being a bit indecisive at this point and decided not to follow the traffic and take a slightly different route. And this is the first time open road I get to open the throttle a little bit. And it really comes into its own at this point. You can feel every one of those horses just urging the bike forwards. Like I said, the power delivery is immense, just a surge of power as you open it up. That big 1000cc 4-cylinder engine, beautifully made. So again, what you're missing at this point is the squeals of delight as I open the throttle and really get to see what it can do. I really was yelling as I was riding this bike. It is absolutely incredible. The rush of that power as you roll the throttle back. It just pinned a smile from my face ear to ear. So much fun. And there we go, bit of overtaking as well, no problem at all. I didn't even need to change gear for that. I think I could have been in any gear and it would have just absolutely flown. You'll notice the flashing light on the dashboard there as we're going. That's the rev indicator, so it's telling you when to switch gear. This is very much based on the S1000. There we go. Oh yes. Oh man, that was incredible. Yeah, very much modelled on the S1000, so a slightly detuned engine. But you can tell from the controls, it's got all the race settings. It's got the lap timer again. It's got all the race timings and everything on the digital dash there. So you can tell this is been based on a sports bike, but just given a slightly more touring friendly edge to it. And here we go, on our way back now, pootling through the village. The other thing to mention actually is the brakes on this bike are absolutely phenomenal. It's the sort of thing that the first time you squeeze the brakes, they will catch you off guard. They really have some incredible stopping power. I wasn't quite prepared for that compared to the brakes on my Triumph. It almost flung me over the front of the bike when I first pulled the brakes on. And again, another chance to open it up a little bit and squirt around this car. A real shame you can't hear me yelling as I go, because I was having a great time at this point. Spotted a fellow biker, so I thought I'd better not upset him by flying past him. Decided to play nice. And for those of you with a keen eye, probably spotted that I went past Castle Donington racetrack. Unfortunately, didn't get an opportunity to take the bike in for a couple of laps, although that would have been a great opportunity. Maybe some other day, eh? Oh, and thanks, Mr. Bus Driver. Yeah, just stop right in front of me there. That was great. So here we are, coming back to Roy Pidcock's. A smile on my face that stayed there for the rest of the weekend. That's the S1000XR. I hope you enjoyed it, because I certainly did.
Hey, Toby. How you doing, buddy?
I'm good, very good.
And there's the GS. And we've made it all the way back from Stafford. We're in Stafford. All the way back from Nottingham after getting the bike serviced. And we're here to get the thoughts of that test ride. Final thoughts, wrap this up.
Of the
S1000XR.
the S1000XR is, I'm struggling to find words to describe it. It's just an absolute animal of a machine. It's so timid and easy to ride when you're just pootling around town and stuff. And then as soon as I took it out onto the open road and ripped that throttle open, it's just it took me by surprise. It really did. The acceleration on it is something else. Absolutely incredible.
So what is it? 165 brake horsepower.
165 brake. Yeah. One criticism of it, I suppose, is that the suspension is very, very firm, and even when I was messing about with the settings and putting it on a softer or a dynamic setting, it was quite a harsh ride at times. And I'm guessing because there's so much power in it, you can't have wobbly suspension or something of that power. So I guess that's the compromise. But yeah, what a bike! Absolutely amazing.
Is it a big thumbs up?
Big thumbs up.
Okay, that's it. He was Toby was actually speechless afterwards. So hence why we're doing the video here rather than there. Because he came off the bike.
Yeah, it's taken me a couple of hours to recover from that.
But yeah, that's another test ride from Mapped. I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll be back real soon. So until then, take care, and yeah, ride safe. Bye.